Hi, I'm Jonathan Flynn, founder of the Hades Effect. I'm 52 years old, and over the past few years my life has changed. I created this channel for men in midlife who've also felt this change because I want to give awareness and understanding as to what's happening, because when it happened to me, there was nothing out there. If you're a man in midlife, like me, you felt change. Not suddenly, not overnight, but somewhere along the way the questions started coming. Who am I now? What's my purpose? What actually matters, and what do I even like doing anymore? And then the big one, the one that every man at this stage asks himself quietly. Is this it? Someone once said, you get two lives, and the second one starts when you realise you only have one. Welcome to midlife, the shift that no one prepared you for, the design flaw in how we prepare men for life, the change that no one talks about, where resources are scarce, and the first rule of midlife is, you don't talk about midlife. You've noticed or quietly accepted that the man you were in your 20s isn't the man you are now. You look at the world differently. You feel things more deeply. There's a caricature of a man at this stage of life who can't face that, who buys a sports car or gets a much younger girlfriend. They're trying to hold on to an identity that no longer fits. But this change is coming whether you face it or not. The only question is how long you spend in the wilderness before someone hands you a map. I went looking for a map when my life changed, and there wasn't one. So I built this. Here's why it happens. And this is the part that nobody explains. There are two things at work, the cause and the trigger. They're not the same thing, and confusing them is why most men spend years thinking that something external broke them, when actually the change was always internal. The cause happens to every man, no exceptions. Biologically, your testosterone, cortisol and dopamine are shifting. The engine that drove your ambition through your 20s and 30s is running differently now. Psychologically, the identity you spent decades building has started to feel like it doesn't fit the way that it used to. The labels still fit on paper, the job title, the roles, the reputation, but underneath something's moved. Socially your circle shrinks, friends drift, the connections that once felt solid start to thin out, and existentially for the first time morality comes into focus. You start asking not just what you want, but how to lead the second half in a way that actually means something. That's the cause. It's internal, it's biological and psychological. It's happening right now if you're in midlife, whether you can name it or not. The trigger is different. The trigger might be your story, a relationship ending, a job that stops feeling like it means something, bereavement, a health scare, kids leaving home. The trigger is the thing that cracks the surface and lets the cause come through. For me, all these things happen at once, and I spent years thinking it was the cause of the shift I was feeling. But here's the important bit. The trigger feels like the problem because it's the thing you can point at, but it's not the problem. Remove the trigger and the cause is still there. That's why men who change jobs or in relationships looking for a relief often find the same feeling waiting for them on the other side, because they treated the symptom and they left the cause untouched. When both land at once, the cause already running underneath, and a significant trigger on top, that's the collision, and that's when it gets loud. So, you're in the cause, and the trigger might have landed. Now you're in what I call the wilderness, grieving the life that once fit, trying to fix the wrong things. The wilderness is the stretch between asking, is this it? And then starting the journey. It can last months, it can last years. You function, you cope, you carry on, you tell no one. I'm fine quietly becomes the mantra because you're a man, and quietly it gets heavier. It doesn't always look dramatic from the outside. There's no breakdown, there's no obvious crisis. Just a quiet, persistent feeling that something's off and you can't quite name it, so you drift. Here's what most men do in the wilderness. They try to solve it alone. They read the books, they download the app, they create a morning routine that lasts for a few days. This is hardwired into us. It's the same instinct that stops us asking for directions or reading instruction manuals. Because underneath it all, you just don't want to feel like a burden. Most men live in the wilderness too long before they choose to move. But the longer the wait, the deeper the hole. At some point, every man hits the same moment. There's a fork in the road. Go left or go right. You can stay quiet and do nothing, or you can take action. Most men I've met stay quiet, and this is the trap of midlife. Going left is staying quiet. It's keeping the lid on it, telling yourself to man up, to get on with it, just waiting for it to pass. But for a lot of men it doesn't pass, it just gets louder and darker. Most men don't ask for help until it's been going on far too long. And the statistics on men's mental health at this stage of life are shocking. Going right is the decision to face it, not to fix everything overnight, not to have all the answers, just to stop pretending it's not there, and to start understanding what's actually happening. This is taking action. The path to the right is the Hades effect. I want to be clear, this is not therapy, and it's not a substitute for professional help if you need it. What it is understanding, and understanding is where it starts. And this is what the path looks like. The Hades effect is built around 3 stages: descent, ownership and emergence. Descent. Descent is the first step. It's the decision to take control. Men are action-orientated and results-driven, and this is where the work starts. The descent is finding cause in the shadows, the hidden parts of you that have been controlling your life. All fear-based. They've been telling you in some form that you're not enough. But this is the halftime team talk. It's the analysis of the first half of your life, the identity you built, the things that you've accumulated, the things that you've avoided because you were scared of not being seen or just being too much, of being rejected, of being abandoned, the imposter syndrome, the low self-worth. It's time to be honest, face it instead of running from it. This takes brutal honesty and self-awareness, but no coach ever looked at a team struggling at half time and said, just get out there and give it more of the same. It's time to take action. No one is coming to save you, but spoiler alert, you're already the hero in your own story. This is the part of the film where Rocky gets to work and starts chasing chickens and running up mountains. This is where the work happens. Awareness, communication, plan, action, strategy, not motivation and hoping for the best. This is structured, deliberate work on understanding on who you are now, what you actually want, and what's been running your life underneath the surface without your permission. Your beliefs, conscious and subconscious, are the foundation that everything else rests on. Relationships, career, family, finances, health. If the foundation is weak, everything built on top shifts, and ownership is rebuilding the foundation. Step 3 is emergence. This is the path to the second half. Not back to who you were, but forward to who you were actually supposed to be. There are 2 mountains on your journey. The first was about ambition, and the second one is about purpose. You were never broken. The Japanese have a concept called kintsugi, the art of repairing pottery with gold. The cracks aren't hidden. They become the most valuable part. That's emergence. The man who comes out of this process isn't a restored version of the man who went in. He's something better, shaped by the descent, clear on who he is, and moving forward with purpose. That's the path to the right. That's the Hades effect. The Hades effect is for the man holding it together, the man performing, pretending he's fine when he knows there's more, the man asking, is this it? The man standing at the fork in the road. He's ready but doesn't know how to take the first step because of where it might lead. I built this for that man because I was him. If you want to see the map, head to my website, thehadeseffect.com. I built the Midlife Map because I tried the motivational route. I knew I was enough, but I just didn't feel like it. I saw the relationship and the job disappear, the family dynamics change. I blamed the external factors and triggers without understanding that midlife changes had already happened behind the scenes and the limiting beliefs that were installed in me from childhood. But motivation on its own doesn't work. Motivation comes and goes. You need a plan and a structure. You need discipline and accountability. I wanted more and deserved more. I wanted to truly know myself. And now, I want the same for you. It's time. You'll know if I'm talking to you. The first step is the Hades audit. It's a free 30-minute conversation on where you are and where you want to be. And then we descend. This is where the work done, and it's not always going to be easy. But I promise you, this is where the gold and your true self are hiding. The way is through.